So there have been attacks against Tim Walz because of his retirement and his unit then going to Iraq. After serving 24 years, he put in his retirement papers, and 5 months later his unit shipped out. That's what happens. What really matters is what Tim did when he was in Congress, because he supported veterans, whereas the vice president nominated for the GOP said no to pay raises for U.S. troops, no to funding for the VA, no for expanding home care for veterans, and of course Donald Trump is suing the VA for putting up a voting booth. So one cares for veterans and was a command master sergeant. That's an important person. I was not in the military. My dad was, so I played 20 questions because he was a battalion executive officer, which means he was a major. In the military, for officers, in the Army, it's second lieutenant, first lieutenant, captain, major, lieutenant colonel, colonel, and then general, and there are 4 different ranks of general, and we haven't had a 5-star since World War II. So when you're in the Army, like my dad was, from 1963 to 1984, you are completely dependent on men like Tim Walz to make sure your battalion runs properly. Command Master Sergeant makes the difference on whether your battalion is efficient and well run or not. J.D. Vance only made it to corporal. One was much more important for the overall unit. Corporals are a dime a dozen. There's one Command Master Sergeant in a battalion. And on top of that, the voting record says the difference.